And continuing with West Asia, the United States has carried out a series of airstrikes in Yemen, targeting sites linked to the Houthis. According to local reports, at least one person died and 13 others, including 3 children, sustained injuries in the capital city of Sana'a. The latest action marked the 10th consecutive day that Washington has launched strikes against the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. According to Saudi Arabian news channel Al Hadath, a weapons depot in Sana'a also caught fire following the strikes by the United States, further claiming that a very senior Houthi official also died in these airstrikes. A fact further reinstated by U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. He said that the U.S. had taken out key Houthi leadership, including the head of the group's missile program. The Houthi-run health ministry reported casualties in the U.S. strike in Sana'a, claiming that the strikes also hit a residential building in Yemen's capital. Beyond Sana'a, strikes reportedly hit locations in Sada, the Red Sea port city of Hodeidah, and also the Marib province, which houses Yemen's key oil and gas facilities. The U.S. offensive follows the Houthis' recent threats to resume attacks on Red Sea shipping lanes as a response to Israel's blockade of Gaza and also its support for the Palestinians in Gaza, because that's what the Houthis have been saying. The U.S. began this campaign earlier this month, citing the Houthis' past targeting of vessels in critical shipping routes like the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Waltz said that the Houthis' activities are severely disrupting global shipping, forcing U.S. flagged vessels to bypass the Suez Canal and take a much longer route around Africa. Since the U.S. air campaign began on March 15th, the Houthis claim at least 79 people have been killed, with over 100 injured. However, the United States has provided little details about the specific sites being targeted. According to reports, the U.S. strikes are occurring daily across multiple Houthi-controlled locations, focusing on major military assets. While U.S. forces reportedly claim to have destroyed key Houthi command centers, communications hub, missile factories and facilities used for drone manufacturing. However, the Houthis have dismissed these claims, labeling them as baseless and accusing the U.S. of attacking civilian areas only. The conflict between Houthis and the U.S. further underscores the fragile and volatile nature of the current situation in West Asia at the moment. With tensions running high, the consequences of these strikes continue to unfold. Our next story is from India. It is about mob censorship. It is about a joke made by a comedian, or rather, a term used by the comedian, allegedly aimed at the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Suffice to say, the joke did not sit well with the party involved. And in demonstrations, the Deputy Chief Minister's alleged supporters resorted to vandalism, damaging the Mumbai hotel where the show was shot. They also filed a police complaint demanding an apology from the comedian. The question is, did the end justify the means? Let's understand the facts first as to what exactly happened. It all happened on Sunday. Comedian Kunal Kamra's stand-up performance featured a parody song set to the tune of the popular Hindi movie Dil To Pagal Hai. In his parody, he made an apparent reference to Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's 2022 defection from the undivided Shiv Sena party. Kamra referred to Shinde as a Gaddar, which for our global viewers means traitor. He also made jokes about recent political developments in Maharashtra, including splits within the Shiv Sena and the NCP parties. But it was his use of the term traitor to describe a sitting Deputy Chief Minister that caused the uproar in Maharashtra. Supporters of Maharashtra's regional party Shiv Sena vandalized the hotel in Mumbai. Did not stop there. His supporters also came out on the streets of Mumbai to burn Kamra's photos. Some even accused the comedian of having accepted money from the rival faction to malign the Deputy Chief Minister. Of course, at least 11 party workers were reportedly arrested by the Mumbai police for the vandalism. But now, a big controversy has erupted in the state. In response, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has said that Kamra must apologize for his disrespectful joke.
I believe everyone has the right to do comedy. People have all the rights to express satire. One can make satirical jokes on us, no one would have an objection. However, if someone is deliberately disrespecting someone and defaming great politicians, then that would be intolerable. We will take legal action against this. Kunal Kamra must apologize.
The two factions of the Shiv Sena, the Eknath Shinde camp and the Uddhav Thackeray camp, are now engaged in a heated row. Supporters of the Shinde camp are the ones that vandalized the venue where Kamra was performing. They have also threatened the comedian. In contrast, now the Thackeray camp have defended the comedian, calling it freedom of speech. It all played out on Twitter. Aditya Thackeray condemned the vandalism, questioning the law and order in the state. Meanwhile, Shinde camp's Milind Deora responded to Thackeray's remarks on X by mentioning names of people who he claimed were silenced by the previous government. So, the question right now is, where is Kamra amidst all of this, all the drama that has happened? He has been booked, and according to reports, he is currently out of town in the southern Indian city of Puducherry. Kamra is not in Maharashtra, where the case has been booked. According to Maharashtra Minister Pratap Sarnaik, police teams are coordinating with their counterparts in Puducherry to trace and detain Kamra. He will be arrested and brought to Mumbai, where he will be questioned. But let's get to the main point. Was this an overreaction? Is this just an example of mob censorship? Are comedians forbidden from making jokes about lawmakers? Or does it actually cross a red line? We will leave it up to you to decide. But what we do know is that the outrage over a single joke resulted in vandalism of public property. And is there any valid excuse for vandalizing public property ever? Shifting our focus to the United States of America, where US President Donald Trump and UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, they both share a rather complicated relationship. The reason why we say this is because recently Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff has dismissed Starmer's plans for an international peacekeeping force as a posture. And this comes as the officials met the Ukrainian counterparts in Saudi Arabia to discuss a ceasefire plan for the Black Sea. Let's first give you a bit of a background as to what happened. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer suggested that a coalition of the willing, which is made up of several European and NATO countries, could provide boots on the ground in Ukraine after a ceasefire is secured. Witkoff, who is leading the US ceasefire negotiations from the US with Ukraine and Russia, snubbed Starmer's move in an interview with a pro-Trump journalist. Not just that, he also accused Starmer of adopting the simplistic notion that leaders have to be like Winston Churchill, a prominent British statesman known for his role during the Second World War. Witkoff also praised Vladimir Putin, saying that he liked the Russian president, whom he met 10 days ago. Through the entire length of the interview, Witkoff seemed to have taken a pro-Russia stance, including that Ukraine was, and I quote, a false country. He also added that he hoped that a partial ceasefire would be extended from energy infrastructure to shipping in the next week or so. All said and done, what explains Witkoff's rather sharp comments towards Starmer in a public forum, including his critique of the UK troops, which he said are smaller than the US Marine Corps? Witkoff also did not hold back in his suggestion that UK's economy is in dire situation and that it should watch its own back first. The crux of the matter is, according to him, the framework of the Ukraine peace talks is best left for both leaders, Trump and Putin, to figure out. As he suggested, that UK and other Western European nations failed to understand Russia's aims in the conflict. But what is Starmer's position in all of this? Well, As of now, Starmer has remained pretty unfazed and went on with business as usual. Recently, the UK Prime Minister discussed progress on a trade deal between the UK and US in a phone call with Trump. Meanwhile, Chancellor Rachel Reeves has defended the Prime Minister in an interview with the BBC and confirmed that Starmer's diplomatic efforts to bring together European leaders and other leaders are well on track. But this begs a larger question. Where exactly is the Trump-Putin equation really headed? And if other collaborators between the Russia and US are in the pipeline or not? Witkoff hinted that it isn't unlikely. Vis-a-vis both the countries' energy policies in the Arctic, sharing sea lines, and even collaboration on AI. From the looks of it, Trump seems to be charting his own way into the peace talks, notwithstanding the Western intervention. And with each passing day, his resolve is only growing stronger.